All right, we're back. Graveyard Shift Movie Podcast, episode number 65. Also, Maverick, if my calculations are correct, earlier this week, Texas Chainsaw 3D came out, and I forgot to mention it in Texas Chainsaw 3D, but I'm pretty sure that was the 100th movie that we've covered for the channel. Come through all the overtimes and smoke breaks and,
Really?
So this episode right here, Maverick, is starting 100 to 200. So this will be the first of the next 100 movies we cover on the channel. And it was your pick. You son of a bitch. And you picked Beetlejuice.
Yes.
From 1988. Directed by Tim Burton. Which for some reason I always forget is a Tim Burton movie. Even though it's like very obvious. Why it's like, oh yeah, it's a Tim Burton movie.
I had no idea it was a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, starring Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice and Alec Baldwin. He's in it. A lot of people are in it. They're famous as fuck. But Beetlejuice. Now, here's the thing. Me and Tyler had this discussion. We won't get into whether or not this is really a horror movie or not. But just pure. I had said so. I haven't watched this since forever. Really didn't remember anything about it. But I gotta tell you, and I might make some people upset with this. I didn't think it was very good.
Wow, I fucking love this movie.
I'm gonna give it
some things I did and didn't like, but
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't like it very much at all.
How did you not? Honestly, I like this better than most of these other movies, to be honest with you. The newer movies, I mean. The whole time I was watching this, I was like, I see why people say they don't make movies like they used to.
You bitch. We did Jurassic Park, and you had the same thing where you were like, they don't make movies like they used to. Yeah, and you were like, this movie is really good. You gave it a 5, and the whole time I was trying not to laugh because you were like, this movie is better than anything nowadays. I was like, man, he must really hate movies nowadays. But,
no, that doesn't mean you're trying to put things in my mouth, Tom.
Yeah, cock. Yeah.
No, I don't remember why I gave that movie 5, but this is like a solid. I want to say 7, but I'll give it a 6 because I watched the remastered and it was fucking delightful. It was fucking delightful.
Delightful, he says.
Delightful.
I watched whatever version was on Amazon.
There was some. The remastered was fucking great. Don't get me wrong, but there was some things that you can't remaster. Like you just can't. Besides cutting it out and redoing it, you can't. Like the fucking spider window scene where the background is just a fucking like painting. Like, that you can't remaster that.
Yeah,
you can't. But I mean, shit, it was pretty good. Yeah. Maybe it's just been forever since I've watched I can't remember the last Tim Burton film I watched. Oh
no.
But
Charlie and
maybe
the
it is
Chocolate Factory.
Fucking probably. It was fucking good. Like I said, this is a favorite of mine in my childhood, but there was a lot I didn't remember. And like the first fucking half, like I'll be real with you, the first fucking half of the movie, even like the intro, I don't remember at all. I was like they fucking died, like the couple. Well, hey, I was like, oh,
spoiler warning for Beetlejuice.
Oh yeah, we should for the 1988 Beetlejuice.
Yeah, if you've never seen it, everything's getting ruined, so you've been warned. But yeah, they die. I forgot, like.
The fucking dog standing on the board, and then they look back, and it's like teeter-totter, and then it steps off and they fall. I was like, the fucking humor in this goddamn movie was insane. Yeah, and I fucking loved it.
Tyler's not here. He's in Alabama today on vacation. But like I think
This is actually a green screen. I'm at his mom's house right now, and I'm on my phone. So he's gonna love this part of the fucking cast. If
he isn't
watches
gonna
it.
watch it. But
On the time cap or fucking screenshot. This
oh
is
yeah. I think I remember that they died, but I for some reason
No.
thought that they come back to life at the end. But spoiler, they do not. They are dead.
Yeah, they're just fuck.
Yeah. Which
This movie had like a surprising amount of fucking adult humor in it, and I don't remember that as a kid.
yeah.
Like, homeboy's borderline molesting fucking the wife, like
Well, I mean,
Beetlejuice.
yeah, you notice that when people mention Beetlejuice and all of its moments or whatever, no one seems to mention the implied forced marriage of a 13-year-old girl
Yeah,
at the end
it
of the
was
movie.
fucking the comedy, which I fucking dude. There's a lot of shit in this movie that they could not get away with.
Yeah.
Like the comedy is on a whole different level, and that's why I think I fucking love this movie. Yeah, I need a Beetlejuice 2021, like, or 2022 to be honest with you. Like, it'd be fucking something.
Also, another complaint I have about this movie is for a movie called Beetlejuice. He is like the smallest part of the movie.
He's not in it a whole lot.
I looked it up and they had it written down because they keep track.
Let
of
me
all this
guess.
shit.
Is there like a minute count
Yeah.
of how?
Go ahead
Yeah, a
and
minute
guess how
count?
many
Okay.
minutes.
I'm gonna guess he's only in the movie for a total of 22 minutes.
Michael Keaton, playing title character of Beetlejuice, only appears in 14 and a half minutes of the movie.
I was gonna say 15, man.
Yeah.
Fucking rigged.
But also, another little fun because it's written right next to it. Beetlejuice was the first DVD sent out on Netflix in 1998.
What?
There you go. Back when Netflix was, you got a DVD in the mail.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You have to order it. I don't even know how you ordered Netflix. Like, you gotta fucking...
It was online.
Like,
It was like
ordering it?
GameFly, and you would go and rent it, and then they would mail it.
Use any of that shit.
And then I think you had like a week with it, and you could extend the period of time. But I don't know how they would, because I know people would just keep GameFly games all the time. I don't know how, like, I think they would just charge you for it, honestly. I don't know. But anyway, Netflix. DVDs. But yeah, I really like the premise of this movie, which is like, it's cool to imagine, because the two main characters die, and then they're in their house as ghosts, and people move into their fucking house, and they're like, and like the premise of like being a ghost and seeing the shit people move into your house and having to scare them out of your house, like, I thought it was a really good premise.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I said, I didn't think the rest of the movie sort of live. Have you ever seen that movie with Casey Affleck where he dies and he's a ghost, but he wears, like, funny enough, there's a scene where to scare these people they put on sheets and they're like, ooh. Casey Affleck in the movie, to represent a ghost, he's in a sheet, and I don't think he says anything. He just stands there. And it's like Casey Affleck having to watch like his wife go through life without him, and watch like the world move on without him and shit. And it's supposed to be super like art film, but it intrigued me, and I want to kind of watch it for a smoke break one day, because I don't think it's horror at all. It's like a drama. But
well, if we're talking about just ghosts watching their significant other, what about the dude from Live Die Hard? What's his name?
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, where he's a ghost, and he's.
You want to know a secret, Maverick? I've never watched The Sixth Sense. Where Bruce Willis is a ghost. Yeah, I've never watched
maybe
it.
We need to watch that.
That's a horror movie. That counts as a horror movie.
Yeah, it's been forever since. Whose pick is it? Yours?
It's my pick. I am not picking
Ah,
the
fuck.
Sixth Sense.
Fuck. I was gonna say if it was Tyler's pick, I vote Sixth Sense, man.
Yeah. Yeah, like, what's the fucking classic with Whoopi Goldberg? Where, it's called Ghost. I'm Patrick Swayze. Little Patrick Swayze, and he's having the... But yeah, the plot of the movie, like, definitely intrigued me. But also, can I just say, like, so Winona Ryder, big actress. I don't know how... I mean, this is definitely early on. She's the daughter. This is definitely early on in her career. I don't know if this is like
Yeah,
the
because
first
I didn't
thing.
recognize her, but I was like,
Yeah.
something was like, I feel like I've seen her, but like, she's small. Like, and I'm not I haven't really watched any Winona Ryder things,
Yeah.
shows.
And I don't know about you, but you know, kid actors. She was 17 at the time, so like she's, you know, it's still a kid actor. But kid actors can go either way. I thought she did perfectly good in this movie.
Yeah,
With her role.
I didn't like her character.
The character. This is what I imagined Tim Burton was like when he was a kid. Where it's just like, I'm strange and unusual, and he's like sitting at the dinner table.
It was kind of cringe.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever.
But I don't think, like, I know at the end of the movie she's still like sort of dressed gothy, but I think all that was just her trying to get attention out of her parents.
Oh, for sure.
Who were like, well, her dad and her stepmom.
So 88. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think there was a lot of goths because that was definitely like a goth look she was going for. But
I can't tell you when the goth thing got big. I mean, I think just talking back, I think The Cure at that point was out, and The Cure is like a super goth, like punky band. So it might have been like ramping up. I don't know like what the golden age of goth was, you know. But
yeah, I have no idea.
But I thought she was perfectly fine in this movie. I like the part where when they're moving into the house, the stepmom, who if you recognize her, it's because she was the mom in Home Alone. Most likely is where you recognize her from. But
maybe.
But she's like, that is my statue. I made it. Careful with it. And the dude's just like, eyeballing her. And then he just tosses it onto the table. And I was like, God damn. But
Yeah, there was one jump scare that kind of got me, and it was I don't know if you guess it.
Was it the closet?
No.
Oh, okay.
It was when the husband is walking through the kitchen in his bathroom. He's like, "Hey, can y'all go ahead and take a 30-minute break?" And he goes up to the fucking kitchen sink and he's filling up the pot for coffee. And then her fucking statue, the wife's statue, fucking busts through the window.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, shit. I didn't expect that. Because it went total dead silent. And it's just him standing there. And a fucking statue comes flying through the window.
Yeah, no, I thought...
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Like, that... Like I said, like... This is like when we did Jurassic Park, you know, is it horror or not horror? In this movie, even though I say I don't think it's a horror movie, like there's like the little, like her ripping off her face in the closet, and like, you know, it's like a horror comedy-ish, you know, at parts.
As we're desensitized, I want to just say all adults in general are desensitized to that type of horror because as a little kid, scared the fuck out of me. Yeah. So as a kid, I would like this is definitely a horror. Like
I could see that. Yeah, when you're little, it's definitely a horror movie. I was amazed at how fast because they learn they're dead. Like when we the beginning of this movie, in the first 10 minutes, they're dead and they learn that they're dead and people are moving in their house, and like they're like, we gotta scare them out. And somehow they learn instantly, like they can rip their face off and make like these faces, and they can chop Alec Baldwin's head off and like have him have her holding his head up in the room or whatever. But and then I do like because they're trying their best to scare him out, and she's like holding his severed head, and they can't see him obviously. And then the husband out of nowhere is like, "Ha!" And he jumps out, and they get scared, and you see them both like, "What the fuck?" They're like, "Come on, man." So that was good. But there's also in the first few minutes, you see that the goth girl is the only person who can see them when they're like standing in the window. And once again, we alluded to it earlier. There's a cringy thing where she ends up talking to him, and they're like, "How can you see us?" And she's like, "Well, I read that book, and it says that can't see people unless they're strange or weird." And she's like, "I'm pretty strange and weird." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then the ghost lady is like, "You just look like a normal little girl to me." And you see like Winona Ryder get a little smile on her face, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." Weirdly, like the end of the movie, we don't go into very much what their home life is like at that point. But she's still living, obviously, with her parents. But now she has, like, ghost parents who it looks like are basically raising her. Like, yeah.
The dynamic is weird as fuck.
Yeah.
I guess we just skip to the very end. So, okay. Well, fuck it. They get rid of Beetlejuice, and at the very end,
by just like eating them, because the whole time they're trying to say Beetlejuice 3 times again, but they never do it. And then she comes in riding in on that sandworm and just eats them, and apparently that works too.
We skipped a whole lot.
And we'll go through it, but yeah, we can get to the end.
Yeah, the fucking dynamic is weird, and I don't know why it worked out like that. Where it seemed like the real parents of Winona Ryder had like the top half of the house and it was theirs, and then the bottom floor was the dead parent or dead couple. But the girl obviously vibed more with the dead couple.
Yeah.
And what fucking song was what song was that?
I know throughout the movie they keep playing that one song that then Lil Wayne took it, which is the 6 foot, 7 foot, shit. 8 foot punch.
And I was like, they fucking ripped off Lil Wayne.
But I know they use that throughout the movie, but weirdly enough, I think it might have been a different song she's dancing to at the end. But I'm not sure. But it would make sense. It's the same song. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When they got possessed at the dinner table, and they were singing it, and I was like, is this racist? Like, I don't know. She was doing the whole fucking accent and everything, and I was like, oh, white people take everything.
Okay.
But no, I was like, I don't like the vibe in this room. I'm gonna head out. Yeah.
Weirdly, another thing is like, because you talk about how she clearly was vibing with the ghost parents more. She's vibing with the ghost parents so much that at one point in this movie, she is writing a suicide note to kill herself to be with the parents in the afterlife. And I was like, whoa. There's
a lot of suicide talk in this fucking movie. A lot of
suicide talk. Yeah.
There's a couple suicide jokes, like, so they get this handbook of like the undead or the dead or whatever, explaining to them like what's going on and what to do and all that bullshit to the dead couple.
Yeah.
And at one point it says, if you're in like danger or in trouble or whatever, draw a door on the wall.
Yeah.
So they do it, and it opens up a door to like the underworld. They go through a bunch of dead people, souls locked in a fucking door or some shit, and they meet this secretary, where one of the best jokes in the fucking thing, and I don't remember exactly what she says, but after it, she goes, "Then I went and I had my little accident," and she shows her both wrists, and they're fucking slit. I was fucking laughing.
Yeah, she's like the secretary lady, and fucking they find out that they have to like wait in their house for 125 years or some shit before they can move on or something like that. And they're like, "Oh, I wish we would have known, all the wait time and stuff before we died." And then that's when the lady's like, I wouldn't have had my accident if I'd known. And yeah, slit wrists. And I was like, whoa.
There was was a bunch of the dead people there that were fucking like insane.
There was a hang dude that was going around
Yeah,
handing out notes.
yeah. Just he was hanging by a noose, and then
Yeah.
they had him on like a little pulley system, and he'd just go
Yeah.
across the room.
Yeah, however you die is how you stay in the afterlife.
Yeah,
So there's a
there's
guy
a
there with
dude-
like a shrunken head. There's a
Yeah.
girl who's chopped in half, who she's dressed as like a magician's assistant. So you assume
Yeah.
that like something went wrong there. There's one dude who's just super flat. I don't know what happened to him, but
he had tire marks across him,
Oh.
so he got ran over. And I was like, that makes sense, I
Yeah.
guess. And he makes a flat joke because he's flat because he got ran over, which is
Haha.
pretty funny. But, and I want to say was there not a dude there with a gun and like his head was missing? I want to say there was, and it was another suicide joke.
Oh, might have been. I wouldn't put it again. They have later on in the movie they have a part where their caseworker, they find out they have this caseworker and she tells them, all the rules of the fucking underworld. She doesn't really give them a lot to go by.
No, yeah.
She's the one that. Go ahead.
There was also the dude who was smoking, and he was like burnt to an ash.
Yeah.
Like, do you smoke? I'm trying to quit. And he looked like the grandma from SpongeBob in the wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chocolate. Nice. Like, it was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And but anyway, their caseworker ends up at like halfway in the movie. She's talking to like a bunch of football players who I was watching. I was like, oh no, because it was reminding me of I want to say it was Marshall or something. What's the one movie where the first high school team dies in like a high school crash, a plane crash, and then they have to
no idea.
I want to say it's Marshall, and then they have to build a whole new team and try to play the season or whatever because all their friends just died in a plane crash. And I was like, oh no, yeah. And all the football players are like, what do we do now, coach? And she's like, I'm not your coach. He lived. And I was like, oh shit.
That shit was funny.
Shout out to Coach living.
That lady also had another. I had no idea it was from this movie, but the meme template where she's like, okay, that was pretty good. Now you, like, because they were trying to show her that they're scary faces or whatever.
Yeah.
And that it's an old meme, but I was like, oh fuck. I was doing the fucking, what the fuck is that guy's name? I keep thinking Robert De Niro, but it's not.
I don't know. You gotta give me something to go on here.
The dude from Wolf of Wall Street.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
DiCaprio, yeah. I was gonna fucking say the dude who we wanted an Emmy or whatever the fuck award it was, but never got one until like this year or last year. I forget.
Yeah.
But that's also him. Unfortunately.
Okay. Yeah, that part, by the way, where she's like, all right, show me your face or whatever. I don't remember. I want to say it was the mom looked cool. Where she was, or the
mom was dope.
Where she had like the open mouth and teeth, and the dad made him look like he looked. He had this big cone head looking shit. He looked like a duck or something. I don't know.
Like the dudes from Spy versus Spy.
That's what. The Spy versus Spy guys.
Like, oh shit.
And I was like, "You're not very
Spy versus Spy game, man. I fucking love that bitch on Xbox."
Shout out. I remember whenever they brought in the Mad TV cartoon on the fucking Cartoon Network, and every week they have Spy vs. Spy. But shout out.
Great.
Spy vs. Spy. But yeah, so meanwhile, as the caseworker, she's the one to tell, because they're like, they want the people out of their house, and they're like, well, what about this Beetle guy? And she's like, don't even say his name. And she's the one that tells them that, like, he used to be her assistant, but then he's cuckoo, and he would start doing all types of unconventional shit. But then at like halfway through the movie, they decide fuck it, and like they're just like do it, and so they say Beetlejuice, and then Beetlejuice finally pops up, and he's like, hey, I'm Beetlejuice, and that's how he talks.
What impression was he doing?
Well, if you want to know, because I was gonna drop this one on Tyler
He's like, "Hey, I'm working over here," but that wasn't
Oh
what he
well, I
meant.
want to. So we talk. Technically, horror wise though, Michael Keaton based his performance of Beetlejuice on Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, played by Bill Moseley.
Oh, I'm not a
You didn't
Texas
watch Texas
Chainsaw
Chainsaw 2
fanatic.
though, so you wanna. But they
So I
also
said, "Fat bitch."
they also okay. Bill Moseley and Michael Keaton would star together in a 2002 HBO movie, Life from Baghdad. So they would eventually end up working
Nice.
together. But as I was watching it, after I read that, I was like, oh yeah, I can see Chop Top. Obviously, you didn't watch the Chop Top one, but
Say it again.
Chop Top. Chop
One more
Top
time.
is a lot like he's like, hey, I'd never been to a radio station before, and like that's how he talks in the movie.
He
And
sounds
shit.
like the dude from Borderlands. Oh, fucking. 3 comes to mind, but I don't remember if it was 3 or not.
We
but
didn't even play 3.
I did.
3 was that new one that came out like a few years ago that they got canceled for because they were having people work like 60-hour weeks. And I think like their executive had a bunch of child porn on his computer or something too.
Oh,
that might have been a thing as well. Allegedly, I don't know if that was what happened, but I seem to remember.
Thomas out here is better than fucking fake news. Man.
You know. Um, but anyway, yeah. So Beetlejuice shows up, and to be fair, like I think Beetlejuice spends so long as someone calls his name, he just gets too excited, and he's like trying to impress him. He's like, I'm gonna help you guys out and shit. And so they're only
Is this
there.
the new impression?
Yeah, man.
Beetlejuice?
Yeah, man. And so they're only there like 5 minutes, and instantly they're like, "Let's get the fuck out of here!" And they grow big again. And this is when you get probably maybe not the most famous scene in the movie, but it's definitely the one I think of when is Beetlejuice standing there, and he's like, "You're working with a professional here," and he kicks the tree, and then the tree falls over. And he goes, "Nice fucking prop." And he honks his dick.
Yeah, he's grabbing his cock a lot, dude. It was weird.
Which, if you didn't know, that tree was not supposed to fall over, and that was all just Michael Keaton being like, "Nice fucking prop," because he was just insulting the guy who made the tree.
You know what we need, Tom?
What's that?
We need a fucking Beetlejuice, but it's filmed like it's Nightmare on Elm Street. Do you know how fucking amazing that would be?
Yeah.
It'd
Like,
be
he's just, like, just killing people.
dude, it'd be but it's still his, like, Beetlejuice comedy.
Yeah.
So it'd be funny, but it'd be like, there'd be the scary parts, like Nightmare. It'd be amazing.
Uh-huh.
I think that'd be a box office hit, man.
Hey, we'll call Michael Keaton. We'll be like, "We got an idea for you."
He's like, I fucking love it.
Yeah. But this Michael.
He has the Beetlejuice costume on
Yeah,
already.
we're like, "Where did you get that?" He's like, I'm wearing it for 45 years.
I never took it off.
Now we're turning the Sling Blade. Yeah. You know, I think Sling Blade came out after, but listen to it back. Like, there's a lot of Sling Blade in there too. Like, goddamn biscuits. but this is Michael Keaton's favorite movie that he ever did is Beetlejuice. He also, including that tree line, he didn't have a script really. He made up 90% of like his lines. He just
That's what it felt like. Like his dialogue was just
well, yeah, it was
off the
mostly
cuff.
like he's just sitting there watching TV and he's like, fucking sandworms, hate sandworms. He's just like mumbling.
Yeah,
to
when he's
himself.
reading the fucking newspaper.
Yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious. The sandworms were fucking bad. Like even in the remastered, it looked like
Yeah,
fucking
they're not good
animation.
looking. But you know.
Speak for yourself. You're not very good looking.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. So the movie goes, and they try to scare him out. They do like we were talking. Their big plan is they possess everyone at this dinner party, except for the daughter. They leave her out. The daughter knows they're around at this point. She's like, good luck scaring.
Was it? No, did they not possess the daughter?
No, if you look, she's in the background, just like laughing at them.
They do a whole musical.
Yeah.
Possessed, and it was fucking.
Yeah,
weird.
it's like a full 5 minutes of a dance routine, and they're singing the fucking 6 foot.
They were
7 foot.
twerking.
Yeah, And then at the very end, like demon hands pop up out of the bowl of the
Fucking shrimp.
salads.
They had shrimp fingers,
Yeah, and
which is weird. Why would you have shrimp in salad?
Huh.
But
And it like grabs their face or whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, we did it. They're really gonna, leave now." And then like the daughter comes upstairs and she's like, "Yeah, that didn't work. They want to meet you guys." And it was like, "Oh shit."
they're not scared. They want you to come downstairs.
Yeah.
And she's like, sounds like Eeyore from fucking.
Yeah. Speaking of people wanting to kill
it's not
themselves.
Scooby-Doo. It's fucking Woody the Pooh.
There you go. You got a second try. Yeah, but so the parents want to meet them, but they don't want to come down, and like so fucking daughter and she's like, they don't want to come. They don't want to come down, So they decide they're gonna go up there, and they like bust into the attic, but they're just gone. You can't see them. And so, but then they leave. And they're like hanging out the window, which is weird because they couldn't see them anyway if they were standing there. So also, if you look at it, it's very much like they just put hands there and they're totally like standing on a platform because it's the fakest looking hands. That but yeah, and so they're
telling me they couldn't hold up their own weight with
bunch
just
of bitches,
their fingertips?
bunch of bitches.
Wow.
So
fucking doing pull-ups trying to get ready for the scene.
Yeah.
Working out and shit.
So at this point, the way I think I might have taken it wrong, but at this point, it seemed to me like what was happening was then the parents were convinced that if they could prove that there were ghosts living there, they could sell the house for like a crazy amount of money or something.
Well, yeah, they had a whole scheme. They were just really greedy. They were like, this is 1 in a million or like in the whole world, and they could make a lot of money off of it if they do it right. And then they had another couple come and they were like trying to sell it to them as well, but then they fucked that up, and the rich couple left, and they were like, well, fuck.
Yeah. Also, somewhere in the middle of this, I think it was after the dinner party, Beetlejuice turns himself into a snake and like shows up, and he's like, ah. He starts like,
yeah, where he's like, I don't even, did they say his name 3 times?
No,
he just pops up.
He was still living in their little replica town, and then randomly he just popped up as the snake and started doing stuff. Yeah. And I was like, okay.
I think he says time to turn it up a notch, and then he turns into the snake, which not that scary.
Yeah,
face was kind of weird, but
so anyway, they eventually the parents decide that they find the book of the recently deceased or whatever, and they find this thing to like summon them basically. But it also looks like it works as an exorcism as well. Because when they summon them, they start turning into what the people look like in that room in the underground. That the guy tells them that's the souls of exorcised ghosts or whatever. And that's how... So it starts to look like they're going to shrivel up and go away or whatever. And the daughter's like, stop, you're killing them. And they don't mean to be killing them. They're just trying to get money and prove they're real, because even they start going like, I don't know what's happening, and so finally the daughter, who also has had a couple scenes with Beetlejuice, goes running, and she's like, you gotta help. And it's not literally the last 15 minutes of the movie, like Beetlejuice is wearing like a raggedy like stripes or whatever, but he's most known for like the suit, like in this he doesn't put that on until the last 15 minutes of the movie. Like when she goes to get him, he's in a nice new suit and he's sitting there, and she's like, you gotta help, and he's like, say the name. And so
they play fucking charades to guess his name because he can't say his own name.
It took that bitch fucking like 5 minutes to guess juice. I was like, come on, man.
Drink? Beetle drink?
Yeah. Started going like shake. I was like, what? Where did you get shake from? But so she says Beetlejuice, and then this is when you get probably the most famous part, or at least line, which is Beetlejuice going, it's showtime. And then and he starts, going around making a big fucking deal, messing up people. But dastardly Beetlejuice had a plan all along to marry the daughter, because then it would like free his spirit from death.
Yeah, I didn't like if he forced a marriage. I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
It kind of like just like jumped from one thing to another.
Yeah,
very quick.
Yeah, because then he starts to marry her, but then the parents go back to looking normal. But he didn't really do anything to counteract the spell that was happening. So it kind of looks like if you just stopped saying the words, it would have ended. So I'm like, why didn't the daughter just go over and like hit the book? But yeah,
it jumped very hard at the end.
So Beetlejuice is trying to marry the and people keep trying to go Beetlejuice, and then he'll like sew their mouth shut or whatever. And the whole time he's telling the priest, he's like, "Come on, hurry it up."
Well, I'm guessing you say his name 3 times to summon him, but then I guess you say his name 3 times again to dismiss him.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah,
And so, like I said, no one succeeds in saying it 3 times. But the dead ghost lady just manages to ride a sandworm into the house and eat Beetlejuice, and that kills him, or at least sends him back to the dead.
To explain the sandworm a little bit, if the ghosts, the dead couple, if they left the house, they'd be like transported to like another dimension where it's like a desert. And then there's these worms that travel.
And time's different.
Yeah,
because dude only steps out for like a minute, and she's like, "You've been gone for 2 hours," and so yeah.
So there's like a time differential.
Yeah, they also when they go to the underground earlier that we were talking about, or underworld, when they come back, 3 months have passed or whatever. Like the whole house is different because these people have reconstructed it.
Yeah, when the couple moved in after the other couple died, they renovated the whole house to be like real modern and shit, but it was kind of weird. It wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
They tried to do like a futuristic modern, but they had no idea what the fuck.
Yeah,
the futuristic modern would be. So it just is kind of wacky.
Yeah. So, like, yeah, they eat Beetlejuice. They have a whole thing that we sort of talked about, which is Winona Ryder comes home from school. And she's talking to the ghost parents downstairs, and she's like,
she's telling them how she got like an A and like a C, and they were helping her study, and she got an A in math, and like a C and like something else.
Yeah, and so she gets her an A on her math test, and she's like, "So can we do the thing?" And Alec Baldwin's like, "I don't know," and then he's like, "Oh, okay." And you find out the thing is just he like possesses her, so she can do the singing, and she like floats up in the air, and she's doing a little dance. At one point, the football players pop up behind her and are doing like backup dancing or whatever. Also, there's a weird thing. Well, never mind. It's not, because upstairs you get another little where the dad's sitting there, and then Beetlejuice's head like comes at him or whatever, and he's like, "Oh!" But it's just the mom has made a statue of Beetlejuice's head.
Yeah, because she renovates houses and makes art.
Yeah,
as her job. And she's making these fucking hideous statues that are weird.
Yeah.
And yeah, she makes one of the snake head fucking Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
And it was abstract, to say the least.
Yeah. And so then we get one last little thing of Beetlejuice now in the waiting room in the underworld. And his fucking wait time, he has like 9 million something. He looks up and it's on like number 3, and then he looks over at him, or at this guy next to him, which is like this native fucking dude who you can tell is responsible for the guy next to him that's a hunter with his head shrunken. And he's like, "You do this, that's pretty cool, you know." And he's like, "Hey, over there's a cow," or something. I don't remember what he said. And then he like switches out the notes because the guy's got number 4. And he's like, "Look at that, I'm next." And then the guy just sort of sprinkles some dust on him. He's like, "Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?"
Yeah, and his head, Beetlejuice head.
Yeah. And he's like, "This might be a good look for me." And then that's the end of the movie. So
we could do best of, worst of.
Best of, worst of. Hey, also, before we do that real fast, that part I talked about where he's like, well, my best of is when he kicks over the tree, and he's like, "Nice fucking prop." That is a good one. But that part has a notable distinction of being one of 4 movies that's rated PG in the PG-13 era to contain an F word. Because this movie's PG, but keep in mind, back in the day, PG was just, that was the rating. And so it could be whatever. But then I want to say Red Dawn came out, and Red Dawn is the movie that made them add like PG-13 and R. So this movie is PG, but it has an F word. The other
Back when
three
it was
movies,
simple.
yeah, the other three movies are Spaceballs, Big with Tom Hanks, and
I don't
Caddyshack
think I know that
2.
one.
Big,
Caddyshack.
Big is when he's the kid, and then he wakes up and he's Tom Hanks. It's that
I don't
scene where
think
he's
I
on the
watched those.
piano in the floor. And he's dancing. Oh, Big's a classic, man. You gotta watch. And then Caddyshack 2. I never watched Caddyshack 2. I watched Caddyshack 1. Bill Murray is absolutely the best part of that movie.
They
Back
had
when,
sex scenes in Caddyshack, right?
yeah, but it was like
full
played for
frontal.
yeah. That's crazy. It was the 80s. But anyway, that was my best of. My worst of. I would say probably, funny enough, the ending of the movie. Like the whole wedding thing. It just seemed like rushed, and they had to have Beetlejuice do something to be a threat because he hadn't really done anything the whole movie. And like the whole, like I said, we talked about it, the plot seemed weird. They didn't really explain how this would help him at all besides freeing him from death.
They did a good job of explaining Beetlejuice as like what he was
Yeah.
and why he was where
I
he
wonder
was.
if Beetlejuice would be a cool guy and he would just marry her and then it would bring him back to life and then he would be
be like, yeah, you're not my type anyways.
yeah,
Fuck.
which I'd be like, all right, cool, because she's like 13. But I wonder if he's a real sleaze bag and like he was gonna do stuff because you know them stripes he's wearing definitely looks like he died in a prison. I wonder, you could probably look up, and there's probably Beetlejuice lore out there of how he died and like what type of person he was.
Well, all they really explained on Beetlejuice, the lady in the underworld, was like he was my assistant or whatever, and he did some crazy shit, and
Yeah.
now he had like an advertisement of his like business or
Yeah.
whatever, and it was he can. I'm trying to think of the word. He can kick out like
Yeah,
living people from.
he basically
things,
does an
like,
exorcism for people.
for living beings.
Yeah, he kicks them out of
And
the
I was like,
house.
what a weird fucking thing to do. But I guess for ghosts that would work. But
Yeah. But anyway, that was my best of worst stuff. Maverick, what you got?
I'll start with worst of was that fucking spider scene.
At the
Where
very
I think
beginning
it
of
was
the movie?
the
Well, my
fucking
problem
dad
with
finds
it-
a spider.
Is when he saves them, you learn later this movie, the house is like fucking 3 stories tall.
Yeah,
And I was like, spider's
2
not going to
stories with an
survive. Yeah, it's not going to survive the fall. Like,
was that? I don't know what window that was. Was it the attic?
that was the attic, because they hang out in the attic like the whole movie. So it was the second floor, really. It might have survived. But
Yeah,
I was
so
like, eh.
the dad finds a spider and he's holding it. It's like a house spider. I don't fucking know what spider it was, but it's crawling on his hands and shit. And then he goes out and then he opens the window and fucking eats that motherfucker. He
Yeah.
fucking eats that goddamn spider.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know if it was like a play spider because the one he was handling
Definitely look real.
it was real. It was crawling around.
Yeah.
But then once he yeets it out the window, it's just not moving.
Yeah.
So either he yeeted it so many times he killed it, or it was a fake spider he yeeted out that fucking window.
Yeah.
But I like to believe he killed that motherfucking spider.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see no spiders were harmed during the filming of this movie. So
They were like,
he
we killed
that
it.
motherfucker.
We killed it.
Yeah, fucking fuck that spider.
Yeah.
But best of was when at the end they were trying to say Beetlejuice name 3 times. And I want to say it was the second Beetlejuice. The dead couple, the husband, said Beetlejuice. He like popped up out of nowhere and said Beetlejuice. Maybe was it the husband? I don't remember. But Beetlejuice turns and looks at him and he goes, ah! He makes that sound.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? What was that?
Yeah.
It was just him. He turned, points at him, and goes, ah! And I was like, it's like 30 seconds long, too.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
But
great.
this movie had a lot of like dark comedy that I just fucking you don't get anymore. and it
Yeah, well,
was
that's like
great.
that's definitely Tim Burton's like gothic dark comedy. You know, like
Shit.
he made Edward Scissorhands, and
Which I fucking love that movie
he
too.
did all the Coraline, and Nightmare Before Christmas, and Charlie and the
I
Chocolate
don't think I've
Factory,
ever
and
watched those besides Charlie and Charlie Factory.
I watched.
I went back recently and watched Edward Scissorhands. There's a fucking lot of killing in that damn movie.
Yeah, he's
Slicing motherfucker. All I
that
remember that
yeah.
movie was all I remember from it is fucking Johnny Depp being like a hairstylist and he was cutting hair, and that's all I remember. And then he's fucking slitting throats and
Yeah,
shit.
man.
I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, that movie is basically like Tim Burton. It's kind of a modern day Frankenstein, because Frankenstein's just kind of like this monster who accidentally kills people, and then there's a whole thing. Well, the original he just kills one person, and then they're like out to get him. You know, the original Maverick, he gets away from Frankenstein's monster, and then he finds like this little girl playing in a river, and she makes friends with them, and they're like playing by the river, and then Frankenstein thinks it'll be funny to pick her up and throw her in the river, you know, and then like she gets all wet. She can't swim, so she drowns, and that's why they're after Frankenstein. But I also think Tim Burton directed a movie that we'll probably watch one day, which is a horror musical starring Johnny Depp and Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of something something.
It was the movie. I was where he's a barber and he's killing people. Sweeney Todd.
Yeah.
Let me just Edward Scissorhand. I don't think there was any killing in that.
I'm pretty sure he does kill people in that one too, though.
I remember that him falling in love with like the chick, and I was like, that doesn't sound like. That sounds like a different movie because he's definitely younger in Edward Scissorhands.
Oh yeah.
And he's a lot older in Sweeney Todd. And Sweeney Todd, he's slitting people's throats and killing.
Sweeney Todd, he's a murderer. Yeah. To be fair, I mean he goes a little crazy, but he's rightfully so. Anne Bonnet or something like that. I don't know. She was in the Harry Potter movies, and she's in a bunch of shit.
Yeah, I know her from Harry Potter, and I know her name. I can't think of it right now. If you know, comment section, please.
But also, by the way, when I said this was Michael Keaton's favorite movie, Alec Baldwin hates this movie, and he really hates his performance. Why? And he
was that the dad?
That's the dead husband. Yeah.
Oh, the dead husband.
Yeah. The dad is a dude that's in everything. He's in Deadwood, but you never watched it. Yeah.
I need to watch Edward Scissorhands again. That was a childhood favorite.
Yeah. This movie had a budget of $15 million, made a box office of $84 million.
Good.
So.
How many Beetlejuices is there?
I know there's a sequel. I don't think there's 3. I think there's only 2. Yeah, there's only 2.
Aw, Beetlejuice 2. Okay. I always remembered him being in a black and white like suit.
Or maybe this
So that must be the second one.
Well, no, he's in the black and white suit in this one at the very end. Maybe Beetlejuice 2 isn't a thing. Oh, my light died.
Who's director?
It's rumored it's gonna come out. Apparently they're making it now.
Shit. Why are we predicting so many things?
Man, I tell you what.
If you look up Beetlejuice 2, the picture looks like it's not going to be like a horror comedy. It's going to be like horror.
Yeah, it might.
And I think it's going to be amazing.
But yeah. So anyway,
Michael Keaton the goat.
Michael Keaton's going to have a busy because he's going to be in that Flash movie playing Batman again. So, shout out Michael Keaton.
I honestly, when he's in Beetlejuice costume, had no idea that was Michael Keaton. It doesn't look like him at all.
Yeah, like if
I think it's the hair.
Obviously, yeah. Like obviously I knew it was him and like he's in the credits. But yeah, if I didn't know it was him, I I might have picked up on it eventually, but I don't think I would have been able to tell.
Like, you can't tell from the voice. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
But anyway. All right. Well, that's about it for Beetlejuice. Next week, it's my pick.
Tom's pick.
And I have a movie.
Pick his ass.
We're going back. We're going back to 1981.
Oh, shit. Even older than my pick.
Yeah, for a classic that I really liked when I watched it. Maverick, I have a feeling you're going to hate it. I don't know. I can't remember the pacing of this movie. But there's some crazy shit in there. But I don't remember like how they paced it out. It has one of my favorite endings in movies. So next week, Maverick, we're going to check out An American Werewolf in London.
Oh, shit.
So,
dun, dun, dun.
That's not a werewolf.
It's like a fucking dying fucking giraffe.
Yeah.
Like, but the only scene I know from that movie is where he's in the fucking courtroom and he's like, "You might want to run," and he starts werewolfing out. But that's the only scene I know.
All right.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Well, anyway, next week, An American Werewolf in London. Like I mentioned earlier, Monday, Texas Chainsaw 3D came out. Go listen to that if you haven't already. Coming out this week, me and Tyler have one more Texas Chainsaw movie, and then we're done with those. So that might be coming out. Like I said, I might try to convince the fellas to watch that Casey Affleck movie for a smoke break because I want to check it out. So that might be coming out.
Who the fuck is Casey Affleck?
Ben Affleck's brother.
Yeah, I'm like,
he's in movies. I can't think of like the main thing he's known for.
Nah, he's in TV shows. I don't know this man.
Yeah.
He plays in like chick flicks. Our friend. Oh, he's in Good Will Hunting. Never mind.
Yeah. A Ghost Story is the name of that movie.
Interstellar?
I never watched Interstellar.
This man's like fucking F+ actor. Oh,
what the fuck? I'm really roasting Casey Affleck.
This man?
He's in Did you ever watch Killing Them Softly with Brad Pitt?
No, but I know
he's
Killing Them Softly.
He's in that, but I don't remember him being in that at all. Maybe he just produced it. I don't see him in the cast or anything.
I don't know this man.
I don't know. Anyway, so at least confirmed for next week, An American Werewolf in London, and something bonus might be coming out. You never know what's gonna
bonus.
Anyway, Maverick, got anything you'd like to add before we get out of here?
Tyler died, but he might be back next week for Tom's pick.
Listen, he just went to Alabama. He didn't. I mean, I know Alabama's kind of shitty, but
I don't know. Like I said, I'm at his mom's house, and she's talking on the phone in the other room.
You're not.
And I can, like I said, this is a green screen. Like, it's not real. So I'm at his mom's house. Yeah, his mom's in the other room crying. She said he died.
Why are you doing this?
But yeah, he'll be back next week.
Yeah, next week we'll bring him back. So anyway, hey, speaking of death, R.I.P. the legend Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, R.I.P.
really bummed me out. One of my favorites. So we'll leave you with that.
Leave him with a clip of Norm.
A Norm clip.
A Norm clip.
All right, I don't know what it's gonna be, but here you go. Take it away, Norm.
So, this is my promise
to
the people of the Video Podcast Network world. I will not eat a single morsel of food until Margaret Thatcher is dead and buried.
She died 3 weeks ago. We'll be right back with Larry King.